Our table just became available. Hey, what's up, y'all?
Happy Thursday! Welcome to Lunch at the Loft. Make sure you share this broadcast. You should be at your desk in your car dancing. Make sure you share this broadcast. Invite your peeps. We are about to get started. Y'all know we was on CP time. Y'all already know.
Who's on? The table wasn't ready. Hey.
All right. Happy Thursday, Periscope peeps.
Hey, let me share.
Make sure if you are just tuning in, yay, I see you all are sharing. Thank you so much. Make sure you are sharing this broadcast with your peeps.
Yes.
We are sharing.
Happy Thursday, everybody.
Ends. And here we go.
All
right.
At lunch. Yeah.
All right. So, happy Thursday. There we go. And welcome to Lunch at the Loft. Yes.
The premiere.
This is the premiere.
So excited.
We are super duper excited. If you are joining us for the very first time, if you randomly stumbled upon Single Wives Club, if you're in the area and you picked us up, welcome.
Welcome.
The Single Wives Club is an education and empowerment organization that inspires single ladies to become better women before becoming wives. We are basically single women who are, well, I'm a single woman, she's a wife, but single women who are wife-minded. We know that we are more than a boo, more than a bae, more than a booty call, and we are preparing to live that happy wife life that he put a ring on it, that she is living. So, I am Coriel. I am the founder of the Single Wives Club, and of course, I am single, legally single.
And I am LB. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us at Lunch at the Loft. I am the wife coach.
Yes, so we are super excited to be premiering our new web show. Well, is this the web? It is the web, because y'all are tuning in over the internet.
Yes,
so yes, our new web show, Lunch at the Loft. And just a little bit about how we even came up with this concept.
Tell them
so LB and I have done web shows in the past. We did A Table for Two.
Table for Two.
That was a web show we did last year. Hey, Nick, nice. And it was so much fun. We had a really great time. But we really wanted to be able to present a lot of great information on our own time. So we stepped out. We are real good at stepping out.
We are.
Okay, we will step out of some stuff. We're going to talk
about that too.
And that's what we're going to talk about today. But Lunch at the Loft is all about feeling good, having candid conversations, promoting health. This is our lunch.
This is my
green
first
smoothies. This is your first smoothie?
Yeah.
Okay, so LB has a kiwi, what is it? I think it's a kiwi paradise or something. And I have a Hebrew sunrise. So yours is like kiwi, strawberry.
Just randomly picked
It's just, yeah. And it's green though. I don't know why yours isn't green.
I'm trying to understand. This is not a smoothie. Okay, hold on.
It is. It's supposed to have kale in it, but clearly it doesn't.
It's pretty good.
See?
My man.
I'm going to post this recipe later, so be on the lookout. But if you are not drinking a smoothie a day, you ain't trying to keep the doctor away. So, Lunch at the Loft is a 30-minute show. I know we started a little bit late, but we are going to hopefully get you back to your desk, back to your cubicle, back to your office.
To that classroom.
On time. Yes, or to that classroom. And so, we are going to start off by giving you a little, I want to say like sweet tea. Because I'm not a real big gossiper. I'm not into the juice. But, you know, we got to have some juice. So, I have a little bit of juice.
What is it?
That I want to talk about.
Tell me.
Okay, so first of all, y'all know about Snapchat, right? Y'all know about Snapchat? Snapchat is like taking over the world, because the crazy thing about Snapchat, it's all live. It's totally live. So kind of like Periscope, except it's a very limited number of people who can follow you. You can keep it very private. So that's what people love about Snapchat. Okay. And the other thing is that it disappears. After 24 hours, just like this, it's gone. You can never see it again. If I send you a message It's gone as soon as you look at it.
Really?
It disappears. And so DJ Khaled is like taking over Snapchat. He is probably the most followed person on Snapchat. And this fool, let me tell you what this man did. He accidentally snapped a picture of his black card. Do y'all know that he lost $80,000 in 30 seconds? In 30 seconds. That's how fast these scammers are.
Wow.
What did you even do with that picture?
Seriously?
I do not even know what a scammer can do. Right?
Business move, right?
That's a bad business move. So shout out to DJ Khaled and that lesson learned.
And whoever got it.
Right, and whoever got it. Khloe, which is my favorite Kardashian,
I love her.
of the bunch.
Mine too.
Khloe is coming out with her new show. What is it? Cocktails with
Khloe.
And so she is doing her press run right now. She's doing a bunch of interviews, and she was recently on one of the late night shows, Howard Stern. Right?
I like Howard.
One of the late night shows, and she dished it all. She talked about how, she found out that Lamar's better now, of course.
Oh, well, good.
But she found out that he, was cheating on her their entire marriage. She's talking about this on the show, which I thought was a little... she's promoting. She's doing promo. She wants you to watch.
And she may have had some cocktails, too.
And she also said that she's never dated a white man. I thought that was interesting. Could you see that?
Well, yeah, I can. Because they like...
Courtney is like the only one.
Courtney's the only one.
Courtney is the only one that is like, nah, mama.
Well, yeah.
I'm keeping it.
And then the other one, what's the youngest one? The 17-year-old.
Kylie,
25.
one of them. I don't know. Khloe's the only one I try to keep up with. So if you are in LA, this is some great news for you because starting in June, Wow Air, which I haven't heard of it. I hope it's not like Soul Plane. We don't really know. But Wow Air is starting $200 flights from LA to Europe.
Wow.
Europe.
Appreciate that.
So you have no excuse. Yes, you have no excuse not to step your passport game up. Step your stamps up this year. We're always talking about grown woman-ish. That's some real grown woman-ish. Take a trip, travel, see the world, and broaden your horizons. Yeah, I don't quote me on that. I don't know if it is Soul Plane or not, but it's called Wow Air.
Okay.
I did my research for this juice.
There you go.
Okay, so the next thing that is not great juice, but if you all watch Love and Hip Hop, you know Yandy Mendices and his whole thing. Supposedly, they just had the going away party.
So sad.
They just had the going away party, and he's supposed to turn himself in on the 19th of this month for 8 years, y'all. This is my question to a married woman. Because I got a whole bunch of deal breakers because I'm not married. It don't take a divorce for me to leave somebody. So I got a whole bunch of stuff that I say I will walk away from. But for a married woman,
I know what the question is.
Is that a deal breaker? Are you ride or die? Are you riding or dying for 8 years? Because this is the thing about Yandy. Yandy was not surprised. This wasn't a shock. It wasn't a secret. She married him.
That's what I'm
saying. It was already done, and then she married him.
Well, that's the thing. I think she already knew that this is where it was going. I don't think they assumed it was going to be 8 years, even though they were gambling with it. And so I think, you know what? If she gonna ride or die for a man, best wishes to you. I don't think I could have put myself in that situation, knowing that my man was facing all these charges. Like, look, baby, boo, 8 years, like
2 presidential terms.
That's a good way of looking at it. But yeah, that's a lot. I don't know how she's gonna do it, but they seem to be a very strong couple. But only time will tell, baby.
Well, that's what I want to know. How do
they seem to be.
Listen, they don't even almost seem to be. Let me tell you why. Because maybe on TV, but my thing is, if you look at the family photos, there's an odd resemblance between the child they have together and this child that he had on her outside of the marriage. Their kids are like the same age. So I don't really know how this is a strong foundation to feel like, to each his own, but for them to have like this great relationship that people, dramatize and compare themselves to and all this stuff. I just think we never know what's going on behind the scenes, first of all. But what we do know is that he has 2 kids that are the exact same age by 2 different women.
But that's what I'm saying. So she's been sticking with him through all that?
Through all of that. And now you marry somebody knowing they're about to go to jail. But, to each his own. We just here to talk about it. We're not here to judge. But I don't think I'm riding for 8 years.
Nah, that's a lot.
Speaking of riding and or dying, because I think this next one is dead. Yeah, next one is dead, and I'm a little sad about it. I just found out about this like right before this broadcast. So y'all know I love Draya, right? Draya is my girl. Yeah. I've loved her ever since Basketball Wives. I thought she was the one that, she was always my girl. So Draya has gone through this relationship, this public relationship with the Dallas player, Orlando.
I haven't watched in years, so I don't know what's going on.
So she's going through, well, he wasn't on the show, but just on social media and on the blogs and stuff. And so they had this great relationship. Then they got engaged. And then like a week after they got engaged, he dumped her. And I mean, like, publicly dumped her, shamed her, said he changed his mind, he should have never done it. Right after he proposed with this beautiful ass ring, right? The ring is beautiful. So that happens. She gets embarrassed, and maybe a month later, he injures himself. And who's taking care of him? Draya shows back up. She's at the hospital. Now she got a ring back on, right? So she swoops in to take care of her man. They work things out. Now she's pregnant, right? Draya's pregnant with a son. So today, after just announcing her pregnancy like a week ago.
Don't say it.
She makes a post that says, trust the timing of your life. I have been lied on. I have been cheated on. I have been, drugged through the mud, but I'm going to be all right because I have one son. I'm about to have another son, and I'm going to be surrounded by 2 kings. Now, if that wasn't a breakup post, I just don't know what is. But
are you talking about the whole surrounded by kings?
Yeah, the 2 kings.
The 2 kings.
She said 2 kings. That means the third, the husband, the fiance.
So once again,
accepting less than you deserve.
The standards.
The standards. Let me just say this though, because we are not here just to talk about dating and relationships and single and married. However, if you are a woman, and any woman within the sound of my voice can attest to this, when you are in a bad relationship or a relationship that's less than what you deserve, your entire life feels it.
Yeah.
You know, you cannot go to work and be happy.
That's it.
Be with your homegirls and be happy when your man is cutting up. When he is acting a fool and dragging you through the dirt, you are going to be dirty. You know, like you are going, that dirt is going to take over your entire life.
Yeah.
And that brings me into what we're going to talk about today, which is early retirement. Because the way that I even started my retirement process was being drugged through the dirt. Through the dirt by a dog, right? Being drugged through the dirt. So I was in a relationship, 2010. I was engaged to be married to a psychopath, right? He was completely crazy. And long story short, the relationship ended. But when I got out of the relationship, I really wanted to run away. Like, honestly, I wanted to leave town, run away, start a new life, become somebody new, and forget that I had ever gotten into this situation. And so my remedy for wanting to run away is to teach overseas, right? So I'm already teaching. I love the kids. And I'm like, okay, if I can go to, I was supposed to go to Abu Dhabi. I had the contract, like the flight. I had everything, right? And 2 weeks before I was supposed to go to Abu Dhabi to teach for 2 years, I realized I was going for the wrong reasons. I really had to have like a talk with myself. Like, I really had to have a talk with myself and say, okay, what are you really doing? Why are you really going? And what is your intention? And what I realized is that I wasn't going for the right reasons. I was literally trying to run away from this engagement, this shame, the embarrassment from ending an engagement. I was trying to run away from this life that I had created here. And so when I got real with myself, because that's what I had to do, I had to get really real and stop just pretending like I just wanted to go teach overseas. That wasn't the case. But when I got real and realized that I was trying to run away from something, I said, okay, I can't make a life decision based on this reason, based on this intention of trying to run away from this life. And so I made the very, very tough decision to not go back to my teaching job here. So I had given up my teaching job here in Atlanta. I had now given up the teaching job in Abu Dhabi. And I didn't know what I was gonna do. I had literally had no idea. Like, everybody around me was asking me. They seemed to be more concerned, than I even was, because I felt good about it. I didn't have any answers. I didn't know what I was gonna do. But the great thing about it was, because I was a teacher, guess what? I had 2 months of free paychecks to figure it out. And by the time that last paycheck rolled around, I decided my plan was to go to bartending school. I'm like, okay, I can make a quick couple dollars bartending. I wanted a cash paying job. That was what was very important for me. I needed a cash paying job. Now, this was before I ever read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, so I didn't really know about cash flow and taxes and all of that. But looking back, I now know, that cash is the way to go, because the taxes will get you. But long story short, I gave up that career, gave up that teaching job overseas, stayed here, didn't have a plan, didn't know what I was going to do. Everybody around me thought I was crazy. Everybody could not understand how I was going to leave this safe job and give up those summers off, to try the unknown or to explore, step out on faith, which is really what I was doing. And I have to tell you, even though I didn't start bartending right away after I went to bartending school, I got a waitressing job, y'all. 3 days a week. I want y'all to do the math. 3 days a week waitressing, part-time, sip your tea on this. 3 days a week waitressing part-time, and I was making more than a full-time teacher with a master's degree.
Wait a minute, say that again.
3 days a week waitressing, y'all. You don't have to have no kind of qualifications to be a waitress. None. I'm not even talking about bartending. I'm talking about waitressing.
Wow.
I was making more money 3 days a week, part-time, than I was full-time teacher. And when I tell you that I love teaching, like, I loved it. I was top to bottom, A to Z. I wanted to be a teacher my entire life. So this was my thing. You know, I love the kids. I went above and beyond. And so when I say I was overworking and being underpaid, that's what was the giveaway, I guess, or the light. Yeah, the aha moment is when I realized that I'm busting my butt in this classroom, staying after school, making sure my kids not just pass, but excel, exceed the standards. Working overtime, working double time, the most requested teacher. Like, I had all this shit going for me, right? And I was getting the same amount of money as the teacher down the hall who wasn't doing nothing, was showing videos all day, was, you know, like, worksheets, was doing nothing. And when I started to take a step back and really think about it, like really, really logically think about it, it didn't make sense. And so that was my reason for walking away. But LB, you walked away too, so I want you to talk about your reason.
Well, you know what? The thing about it, you knew you wanted to be a teacher. It's amazing how we both were teachers. 2010 was your turnaround year. 2010 was my turnaround year. At this point, I had been teaching for about 4 years, 3 or 4 years. I actually was pretty good. Had been nominated Teacher of the Year. You know, this was my secure job. I figured, hey, if I'm going to stay in education, I might as well go back and get my master's degree so I can be a principal. But something happened in 2010. I attended this conference at the beginning of the year, and Mark Victor Hansen, you all may be familiar with the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. He was at the church, and I went, and he was talking about writing. And this ignited that writing skill back inside of me, and me wanting to actually explore my creative, I guess, passion. And he started talking about freedom. He talked about time freedom. He talked about creative freedom, spirituality freedom. He talked about relationship freedom, and of course, money freedom. And when he started talking about those, I got excited, but I realized that there was something in me that I wasn't living out. I went back to teaching. You know, that was like at the beginning of 2010. That summer, went back after the summer. But before I went back, I participated in a consecration and a fast with my church. Same church that brought him in. I started praying, started seeking God. I was introduced to The Secret that same year. I was introduced to vision boards that year. And I started realizing that there was something else for me to do. I was not fulfilled. Even though I was good as a teacher, like you said, we got the summers off. Never even considered that when I first started teaching. Like, wow, we get the summers off and they're paid. And all they do is just break up your checks.
Right, that's all it is.
They ain't like you get extra money.
It's a trick.
They just break it up so that you can get paid for 12 months instead of 10. But I realized at that moment that there was something else for me. I wanted to be free. I wanted to have, you know, I was living the life that my mother or my parents kind of sought out for me. Meaning, you go to school, you do your best, you bust your behind, you get A's, graduated with honors, all that good stuff. You get you a good government job with them good old benefits, and then you retire at 60, which turned into what, 65? You retire at 65, and then you live your life. Wait a minute, huh?
At 65.
So at 65, when I can probably, I mean, I'm gonna be fly. I'm be Marjorie. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be fly. But you know, most of the time after working 30 years in education, hello,
beat down to the bottom, baby, beat down to the ground.
You want me to then wait until I actually get old enough that I can't travel, can't do anything, and then live my life. So I started to realize that I wanted freedom.
Part of the game is that.
See that right there? I wanted freedom. This is exactly where that came from. Freedom to live the life I wanted to have. From time freedom to, this is time freedom for me. Hello. Money freedom, relationship freedom, spiritual freedom, all of that. So anyway, finally decided that I was going to stir back up my gift of writing. Wrote my first book, Picture Perfect, in the summer of 2010. Started writing it. Realized that, oh my God, there's something in me. I can really do it. I wrote my first book in 6 months, and I started getting excited about the possibilities of living this free life. But I don't know if you're ready to go into it before I said it was time to go. I gave myself 5 years in the teaching profession. I went in with 5 years. Either within 5 years, I was going to stay and, like I said, become an administrator, or I was going to leave and do something else. But during that 5 years is when I discovered my true purpose. And I knew that I had to write this book, wrote the book, and realized it was time for me to go. But I did leave.
Hold on, we can't talk about that yet.
I did leave.
We can talk about it.
Okay, I didn't want to make sure we didn't get, I want to make sure. Okay.
So, I did some research yesterday. Fortune magazine. Okay. The top 3 reasons that people quit their jobs. So, number 1, I'm sure, well, No, number 2, the one you're gonna be able to guess. But number 1 is that you don't like your boss. That's like the number 1.
Okay.
And I didn't really have that. I mean, you know what? I didn't like mine, but I wouldn't quit my job because of that.
She was awesome.
No.
I had a great principal.
Mine was a hater. Number 2, they want more money. Now, hell yeah, hands down.
Wait a minute, hold up.
Oh.
Because that's true.
No,
I went back to school, got my master's. It increased my salary like $5,000 a year.
Nothing.
Went back and spent, wait a minute now.
Yes.
Like
let's really talk about it. Those loans. Let's talk about those loans.
Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
$80,000.
Oh my God.
For a $5,000 raise, y'all.
It's
a scam. Don't do it.
You said it.
Do not do it. $80,000.
Like for me to finally make $40K. Oh, I was
seriously.
I was doing good.
And then here in Georgia, you get paid 1 time a month, which is like.
Well, they changed it in certain counties.
Oh,
the cab was once a month, and then they changed it to.
Well, I was getting paid once a month, and that is the worst. That is damn hard. Okay, so let me tell you. So number 2, you want more money. And number 3, you don't enjoy it, which I think was our reason, is knowing that God has something more for you. Now, I didn't know what it was. LB knew that hers was writing, but I just knew, God, this can't be all. This can't be it. Now, I love teaching. I love learning, but this can't be the end all be all. And so I said that to say, I still teach.
Yeah.
I still teach right now today. I have found a way to remix, rub it down, flip it, strip it. You know, I have remixed that master's degree. I'm still using my education.
It's a different platform.
Right, it's just a different platform. I'm teaching adults, adult education versus the second graders I was teaching before. And so I want you to know that even if you love your job, even if you love your job, I am guaranteeing you, me, right now today, what's today, the 14th? January 14th, 2016, Coriel said it. You can find a way to do the same things that you love right now on your own terms, making your own money, unlimited income. Unlimited. As hard as you're willing to work, that's how much you can get paid.
You see that? Freedom.
If you're working a job that pays you the same amount no matter what, now if you're in corporate America and you get bonuses and raises and all that kind of stuff, that's another luxury. But coming from the classroom, you got that same salary until your years went up. That's all that. You could be the best teacher in the world. You could be Ron Clark out here. But if you are teaching in a regular public school, right, you could be whipping and name with your kids all over Facebook. But if you have only been teaching for 3 years, you only get paid for a 3rd-year teacher. And so that, by far, hands down, is, in my opinion, the number 1 reason that people quit their jobs is because it's not fulfilling. And who wants to work 40 years, climbing this corporate ladder for safety and security? And guys, this is the other thing that I have to tell you before LB talks about the relapse is safety and security does not exist.
Say that again.
Now, I don't really want to tell everybody business, and I won't name who, but 2 very close people to me. 2 very, 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 very close people to me. Worked corporate jobs since college, years and years and years. I'm talking 20, 30 years at a single company. Thinking that they're slaving away, thinking that this company has their back, they are in it to win it, they're going to retire. And guess what? As soon as they became bad for that budget, guess what happened? They got fired. They got laid off. They got a severance check.
Wow.
And so now you're talking about older people who are close to retirement age, who are literally having to rewrite their resume. How can you put on a resume that you've worked at one company for the last 25 years? You're only used to doing the same thing one way for the last 25 years. You're comfortable, you're complacent, and now you are out of a job. You have to try to figure out how to go interview. Think about if you were 55 years and you had to get back in the dating game. You don't know nothing about dating anymore. It's over. You're done with that. And so being thrown back into, into the unemployment field, the unemployment pool is depressing. That's how people go crazy. That's how people come back, and shoot up the office when they get fired because they have given them their whole entire lives. Invested their lives. They are planning, they bought houses with these intentions. They've planned their entire lives based on this safe and security job that is not safe or secure. And so if you are loving your job, if you are thinking that you're climbing the corporate ladder, I hate to burst your bubble, but I got to do it. We got to keep it real. Lunch at the Loft is all about keeping it real. There is something more for you. Now, I'm not telling you to go out there and quit your job.
No, absolutely not.
And LB's going to tell you why not.
Absolutely not. Well, see, I came up with an acronym for quit. Because I think everybody should eventually quit their job, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you my story really quickly because I know a lot of you are going back to work. A lot of y'all going back to work. So, Q, you're ready to quit your job. I want you to quiet your mind. That's first and foremost. Quiet your spirit, quiet your mind. Write that down. You need to get clear. Hear from God. What is it that I need to do? What direction do I need to go into? Entrepreneurship is not for everybody, Coriel.
It's not.
But multiple streams of income is for everybody. So you need to quiet your mind and figure out, what is it that I need to do to bring in more income? What is it that I need to do to discover my purpose, which we're going to get into the next letter, which is you understand your purpose. So Q, quiet your mind, get quiet with God, and ask for direction. Ask him, what am I supposed to do? That's what I did in 2010. You understand your purpose. Your purpose may not be one thing. I thought my purpose was just to write a book. Lord help me.
And look at her now.
Lord help me. That's all I wanted to do. I wrote a book. Oh God, I'm about to be a bestseller. I'm about to travel the world. It's over. I did it. I initiate a plan. I left teaching without a plan. I only left with a vision, with a hope, with a dream. I had no idea how I was going to sell my books. I had no idea how I was going to become social media savvy. Had no idea. I just had a dream, child, a hope and a prayer. And guess what? I went back to work. Not as a teacher, but in the education field, because that's all I could get a job in. That's all I had a degree in, professional English. I had to go back and become a parent liaison, child, making half the salary I was making as a teacher. Like half, cut in half. Didn't matter that I was a great teacher. Anyway, initiate a plan. Discuss your support group with this plan. My husband had to get involved. As soon as I said, baby, I'm going to follow my dreams, he smiled at me and said, you know what, baby? I'm proud of you. I believe in you. But it takes 15 years to become an overnight success story. I was so pissed at my husband that day. When I say I was so mad at him, I said, how dare you? You're walking by fear. I'm walking by faith with no plan. Faith without actions doesn't work. Faith without actions is what? Dead. So that leads me to the T. Take action. Now that you have your plan in place, take action. That doesn't mean quit today. Doesn't mean quit tomorrow. Work your plan. What I had to discover when I went back to work was that I was funding my dream. My whole mindset for being there was totally different. I was so amazing at this school. They looking at me like, please, God, don't leave. No, I have to leave because there's a bigger purpose inside of me. So then I was ready to quit the second time. So I retired twice.
She retired
twice. So quit. Q, quiet your mind. Get close to God. Figure out what it is he needs to answer for you. You understand your purpose. I initiate a plan. You like this acronym? No,
I do.
It's amazing. Freedom. T, take action. I hope that helps you.
That is very, very helpful. And I want you to think of this as another goal. LB and I are always talking about the power of vision boards and goal setting and affirmations. Quitting your job, leaving corporate America, leaving whatever situations,
yes,
not just a job, but whatever situations are beneath you, are less than what you deserve. Set a goal for it. Come up with the time. And then come up with some action steps. Come up with some real steps. Because the whole idea of just, okay, I'm just going to quit my job. Sounds like, okay, how are you really going to do that? You have to come up with some real steps. And the moment you come up with some steps, it's not going to seem like some far off, unimaginable thing that you cannot achieve.
Absolutely.
As soon as you put some steps on it, you're going to say, oh, I just got to do 1, 2, and 3, and then I'll be ready to go. And so you definitely want to use that acronym. Go back and watch the replay if you didn't catch it. Q.
Quiet your mind. Understand your purpose.
Initiate
a plan. And take action.
All right. And then the last thing that I want to just leave you all with is that it is not as hard as you think it is to make money. That's the one thing that I have figured out as an entrepreneur. It's not that hard, especially if it's only like $3,000 a teaching salary that you're trying to make up. It's really not that hard. Like I said, waitressing, I was making more money. My book, $20,000 in 52 days. Come on now.
I know.
Come on now. It's like the moment you step out there, faith creates those opportunities for you. Faith creates opportunities for you that fear will keep hidden every single time. I love saying that. I love the way it feels when it rolls off the tongue.
Say it again.
Faith creates opportunities for you that fear will keep hidden every single time. Every time. The moment you just start to believe, the moment you just start to open your eyes to see the possibilities, they will be there right before your eyes. But right now, I'm telling you, if you can't even think about it, if you can't even fathom the idea of walking away because you're so scared about it, you're not going to see the opportunities. You're not going to be connected with the people you need to be connected with to get to the next level. But the moment you awaken yourself, like really, really do your research. Start reading about stories of people who quit their jobs. See how they did it. That will inspire you. That will let you know that it is possible.
It is.
LB and I are here to tell you we are no different from you. We were scared as hell. I was scared as hell. I hid it for a long time. But I didn't know what I was going to do. Not knowing is scary, especially for women. We want to be in control. We want to see the whole staircase before we take a step.
No, but
you can't do it.
You got to just take the first step, even though you don't see the whole. So you got your whole perspective will change. When you go back to your cubicle, when you go back to the classroom, you teaching them churn. I'm serious. Your whole mindset needs to change. I am funding my dream. I am being prepared. I always say this. As a teacher, I had no idea that God was preparing me for where I am today. My classroom was my stage. My kids were my audience. And I was on stage performing. Had no idea. And I was a performer. I mean, I'm a kid, I did a lot of stuff to get my kids interested and engaged. But it's all about your mindset. And when that time comes, trust the process. Absolutely. Me having to go back to work was not something I wanted to do. It wasn't. It wasn't something I wanted to do. But let me tell you something. He had to prepare me. I didn't meet Coriel until 2013. I had no plan. I had nothing until I went back and sat my behind down and said, okay, this is what I need to do first. I need to get my husband to buy into this. I need his support. I need to make sure that I am saving X amount of money from this dream I'm funding, from this job that's paying me half. I wasn't even making the same salary and still was able to do things, publish my second book. So it's possible. The possibilities are there. So I hope that encouraged you.
It is definitely possible. We hope that you are encouraged and inspired to get out there, come up with a plan, and create multiple streams of income. Yes. Yes, quit that damn job. And my final thought is that you cannot afford to be a prisoner to your paycheck. It's not worth it.
Write that down.
You can't afford to be a prisoner to your paycheck.
No.
We got to get out of here because we ain't got nothing to do, y'all. Because we free. We ain't got no jobs to go to. I'm about to get on this computer and make a few coins. You see my shirt? Counting coins, cashing checks. That's what I like to spend my time doing. So whatever it is that you like to spend your time doing, I guarantee you can find a way to do it. And one last thing before I go, for real. This is the real last thing. Whatever job you're working, whatever skills you have, whatever hobbies, talents, gifts, use all of that to create streams of income. You would be surprised what people are getting paid to do out here, okay? You would be surprised how people are making some money.
I'll show you something.
Probably the same thing. It is a photographer. Let me tell y'all, this is the real last thing, okay? There is a photographer out here, y'all, that is making a living off of what, LB?
Oh, my God. I can't say it.
I can't say it either. Say it.
Okay. Penis pictures.
A photographer is making real money.
No, like 10,000 per picture.
Monies.
Like penis.
Real monies.
Dressed up in character.
Dick pics.
That's what they're called.
All right.
Well, it's dictatorship. Something. It's something.
All right. The point is, there is money to be made out here, y'all.
That's your purpose?
Hey, whatever. Dang. Somebody got to get to it. Okay. All right. I'm Coriel.
And I'm LB.
This is the Single Wives Club lunch at the Loft next Thursday, y'all.
We're going to start on time. I know y'all got to get back to work 30-minute lunch hour. So we'll see you next week.
Oh, wait.
We got an outro music. Y'all, for real. Like, she making money off of taking pictures of penises. I just got the link. How did you know about that?
I saw it yesterday.
My sister texted me. Next week, 12 o'clock. We're going to start on time.
Yeah, I don't think I have any outro.
That's okay. Y'all good?
Peace
See you
out,
next week. Peace.